You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Hello and welcome to the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about reaching for more in life. And what is that? What more do you want? That's what you want to think about over the course of the show. Wherever you are now, what are you trying to shoot for? What do you want to achieve in life? That's what we want to strive for over the course of the show. Now, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me at 800-333-0001. We're going to be taking your calls so that I can help get you on that path to achieving those dreams and goals that you have for yourself. And the thing is nobody gets there alone. So we're all here to support each other. And that's what this community is all about. Also, if you have questions on today's topic, feel free to reach out to me at connect@livingfullout.com. And we'll make sure that you get the support and resources that you need. Also, if you have an inspirational story that you think our community would enjoy hearing and would be motivated by, we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and email us again at connect@livingfullout.com. So I'm getting a word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go check in with them and say hello. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi there. How can we help you today?
I just have a question. So recently my friend's boyfriend has been spending too much time at my apartment. Like, he practically lives there, and I don't really know what to do because I don't want to cause tension or anything. But I also don't want him living in my space.
Yeah, I get that. And you know what? I've been there once before. And the thing is have you had a conversation with your roommate?
I've tried, but she's not very receptive.
And how long have you guys been friends?
For almost 3 years.
Okay. And how long is your lease?
Well, it's this year, but we can renew it, and I'm hoping I can because I don't really want to move again. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So you want to stay roommates with her?
Yeah.
So it's really going to have to be about a boundaries conversation. And it may be that you together decide, what is community space and what is reasonable. So if he's going to be there, say 70% of the time, maybe he contributes to the rent, or maybe he contributes to at least the food or utilities if he's taking showers or watching TV or, is existing in a room with light on, right? Maybe he could do that. If he could just contribute a little bit, maybe that would make you feel better. And so that's a conversation. Yeah. The other thing, too, is you might say to each other, okay, what are reasonable common areas? Maybe the kitchen and maybe her bedroom. And maybe when he comes over, that's kind of the two places they go. Maybe the living room only within certain hours. Maybe if she knows that you like to watch shows on certain nights of the week, maybe she could honor, okay, we just won't be in the living room at all on those days. So I think it's really about coming to her with suggestions. So not making it just about the boyfriend, but coming with, relatable options that she can choose from. How do you think she would respond to that?
I think that would work perfectly.
Okay. And again, I mentioned the financial piece because that might make you feel better. But at the same time, that may or may not be feasible for him. But I think if you go with negotiating how you all use the space and maybe the timing of it all, I think that will really help. And the other thing, too, is whether you all three go out together or whether you just say to her, hey, listen, why don't you study in your bedroom? I'm going to get to know your boyfriend a little better. I'm gonna and kind of build some camaraderie there too, because I think sometimes it feels like you're the third wheel. And if you became a little bit more like friends with him and got to know him better, that may make you feel more comfortable. Does that make sense? Like just asking them, where are you from? How'd you grow up? What are your goals and dreams? I don't know if you know those answers.
Right.
Okay. So if you do that, I have no doubt that this will get on a better path.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll be thinking of you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Thank you. What a great question, right? Because she's reaching for more. She wants to have a place that she can call home and feel safe and secure and enjoy time with her roommate. But I have a feeling that this is going to get a lot better soon. So again, call us again if you have any further questions. Now, we're getting word from our producer that we have another call on their line. We're going to go say hello to them and see how their day is going. Hello, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi. So I'm a recent graduate from college, and I graduated in June. And I'm still struggling to find a job that's related to my degree. And this is beginning to make me feel a bit down, and as if I don't compare to my peers who have graduated and found jobs. And I don't really want to feel like I've wasted like 4 years of my life attaining a degree that I can't seem to find a job in. So how do I prevent myself from feeling incompetent, compared to others that are already in the field and working?
Well, great question. And the thing is what is your dream? What is your goal? What are you striving for?
Well, I got a degree in animation, and so I'm trying to be an animator.
How exciting!
Yeah.
How exciting! Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start there, because the first thing is you have to be excited. Because first of all, if you're not excited when you get in front of the people that are interviewing you, or even if you're just putting this out into the universe that you get your dream job, if you're not excited, they're not excited, right? So first of all, animation, I love it. Creative, fun, and it's not going anywhere, right? You got job security there. It's good. Now, how have you been going about your job search? Are you interviewing places frequently, or how are you doing that?
Well, I'm sending applications quite frequently throughout the week, and I've gotten maybe 3 interviews so far. And while 2 of them have shown initial promise with a follow-up interview and a test as well, they ended up telling me no and to consider them in the future and that kind of stuff.
Well, so I have a couple suggestions for you, okay? And some of these you may be doing, some not. Now, are you on LinkedIn? Are you active on there?
I am, yeah.
You are? Okay. Now, have you ever contacted somebody in animation and said, can we speak on the phone? Or if they're local to you, can I come shadow you for a day?
I haven't.
Okay. That's the number one thing I want you to do, because social media is great, but you want to take it from being just online to the phone, because you got to talk to them. What was their schooling they did? What was their first job? What do they wish they had done differently? And if any of those professionals are local to where you are, then further ask them, can I spend the day with you and just shadow you, or can I just come watch you for a couple of hours and just kind of get a feel for their environment? That would be the number one. Number 2, I really want you to maybe consider changing your resume or your cover letter, and maybe even that person that you talk to, that professional through LinkedIn, or maybe contact an HR department for a company that deals with animation. And although you're not applying for a job, contact the HR person and say, hi, I'd like to be in this field. I know you're not hiring, that's fine. But could I just ask you, can you take a look at my resume and cover letter? And would this intrigue you? Would this impress you? All you're asking for them to do is look at an email for 5-10 minutes. First instincts, right? If you don't call that HR person and you don't ask, you won't know. Plus, they might get your resume and say, you know what? We've been looking for someone like you. Who knows, right? And then the other piece of advice I have is a lot of times we apply for jobs that are offered, meaning they're posted on the various websites or in the paper or whatnot. But the thing is that's where the masses are going to go. What I invite you to think about is, what companies would you like to work for? And again, take that resume, take that cover letter, proactively contact their HR department, introduce yourself. Say, hi, I know you may or may not be looking for someone in my field at this time, but I really enjoy what your company's about, and I would enjoy being a part of it in any way or form. Does that make sense? You're going after that company. You're being proactive, and they're going to see that and go, wow, this tenacity, this is the type of professional we want. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So, have you tried any of those yet?
Not yet, but I think I definitely will.
There you go. See, room to grow. That's what Living Full Out's about, right? To know that there's opportunities ahead of you that you haven't tried yet. I love it. So I know you're going to do great things. I can't wait to watch your work, and thank you for calling in.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much. And for everybody, we're talking about reaching for more today. You know, whether that means working out, going after your professional endeavors, building a relationship, it's never too late to reach for more. Stay with us. We're going to be joined by our inspirational guest, Sean Swarner, who he has definitely reached for more. Survived cancer twice, yet went on to climb Mount Everest. How do you do that? Stay with us. It's all about living full out and reaching for more. We'll be back.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I'd like kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm going to return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Don't you wish that getting your child to eat right, move more, and spend less time in front of a screen could be as easy as pushing a button? It might not be that simple, but you do have more power than you know. And you can maximize that power with proven strategies, tips, and tools from the National Institutes of Health's We Can, or Ways to Enhance Children's Activity and Nutrition program. We Can offers all kinds of resources, including fun recipes and activities the family can do together to show you the way to live a healthier lifestyle. We're not saying it's easy. We are saying that it can be done. Take the first step today. Call 1-866-359-3226 for a free We Can Parents Handbook. And be sure to visit the We Can website at wecan.nhlbi.nih.gov for free information too. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit ignition.
And then
nothing. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite. Look out! Look out! And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. With Nancy's expertise, you'll learn how to embrace your potential and strive for success. If you have a question or need further support, send us an email at connect@livingfullout.com. Now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about reaching for more. And I love that concept because I think wherever you are in life right now is fantastic. But what's right around the corner that you could be striving for that would be even more exciting than where you are now? Now, our inspirational guest today, Sean Swarner, has gone through it. Let me tell you, not having cancer just once, but twice, at young ages, in his teenage years. But he didn't just settle for giving up and saying, well, this is my life, I'll do nothing, I'll just go through the motions. He went for life in a big way. He reached for more, bigger than even I can imagine for him. It's amazing. So I'm going to welcome him to the show, and he's going to tell us his story. Hi, Sean. Welcome.
Nancy, hey, thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. You know what, Sean? You are just such a special person, and I mean that because not only have you gone on to do such amazing journeys that none of us have really explored, and you'll tell us about that in a second, but you have such a heart of gold for all that you've gone through. So I am just so grateful that you're on the show today. And I want to take our audience back in time because your teenage years were not like mine, where other teenagers were dating and getting their license and kind of going through those motions as a teenager. Yours was much different. You fought cancer not just once, but twice. What was the first age that you had your first cancer?
The first cancer was actually at 13, but when you're doing the quick intro there, you're saying that I had two cancers. I try to have a sense of humor, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm an overachiever, and instead of getting one, I had to go for two cancers.
That's just so Sean. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first cancer was when I was 13 years old. I was diagnosed with advanced Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my whole body was just riddled with cancer, from head to toe, and that's like I said when the doctors. I guess I had two choices: either fight for my life or give up and die.
I can't imagine being 13 years old being given that news. I mean, I can only imagine that you were scared. Did you think that you were going to survive, or were the doctors kind of painting the picture like you were not? Do you remember?
Yeah, the doctors were kind of painting a picture that I wasn't, but at the same time, I think at such a young age, I don't think I fully understood the ramifications. I think I fully understood what quote unquote death really meant. I don't think my brain really wrapped around it too much, and I just took the attitude that my parents instilled in me at a young age to just continue moving forward and never quit. I was an athlete for years and years and years, and I always kept bettering myself. I just tried to push myself a little bit more than I did the day before, and I think I tried to do the same thing battling the first cancer.
And what was the first cancer called?
It was Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay.
And what was the remedy in terms of what eventually got you so you were without the cancer?
A lot of people try to pinpoint it, but I don't think it's one specific thing. I think it was almost like the perfect storm, but together for a good. And I think it was a combination of modern medicine, family support, prayer, and just an inner will to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how long was that process for you to finally feel, I don't even know if you feel normal again, but what was that process like?
Yeah, great question. And to be honest with you, answering that, I don't think I ever felt normal after that. But it was about a year of chemotherapy. So it was intense. I gained 60 pounds, lost all the hair in my body, lost a lot of my friends. My whole life was put on pause. And as you said earlier, they're out dating and they're worried about hairstyles. the latest, I think at that time was a Reebok pump or something like that, the newest shoes. And, I was 13 going on 40 as far as understanding what life was about.
Right. And when you were finally cleared, when they said that you were in remission, you were out of that cancer, I bet you were so relieved. But then when did the second cancer come back?
The second cancer was actually, I was in remission for about a year and a half of my life. And then when I was 16, I was going in for a checkup for the first cancer when in one day they found a tumor on an X-ray about the size of a golf ball. They did a needle biopsy. They removed the lymph node. They cracked open my ribs, took out the tumor, put in a drainage tube, and started chemo one day. Wow.
Well, that is service, but that is scary at the same time for a 16-year-old. Wait a second. And during that time, I know they even had to put you in a medically induced coma to do all these different procedures.
So, 2 months of intensive chemo and then 10 more months of chemo. And every time I was in for a chemo treatment, they did put me in a medically induced coma. So aside from that 1 month, I don't even remember being 16 years old.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's really amazing. And Sean, just so you know, I'm going to have my producer work with you in between the commercial because they're kind of cutting in and out a little bit on your phone. So just stay with us on that. Okay. But going through being, not even seeing your 16 years. I mean, you were 16 years old and you were in a coma pretty much that whole time. When you came out of that, when you were kind of going back into remission for that cancer, were you angry? Were you kind of jaded, like you had kind of lost out on all the time that your friends had?
Something like that. You can come out on the other side and you have two choices. You can be bitter and hate the world and be angry at what you went through, or you can choose to come out on the other side understanding how precious and valuable life is. And I definitely came out on the other side understanding the importance of life and the freedom of life, which I chose to be alive as opposed to just living. So I wasn't bitter. I think I was excited for the second chance that I had in life.
Were you worried that cancer was going to come back a third time?
Immediately afterwards, I think I was just happy everything was over with. I go in once a year for an annual checkup, and I think that's the only time I'm really concerned about it. Just sitting there waiting for the results. I think that's the worst part, just the waiting.
The waiting, because you just never know. And I know after the first cancer, it was about a year and a half before the second one came about. And then how long of time did you have to go through after your 16th year birthday and going through that cancer? How long was that before you really started to have your energy back again?
That's a good question. And looking back at it, I think it was a process of about 6 months to a year. Like I said earlier, I did something every day to just push myself a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So I think over the whole process of working out and getting my body and my lungs back into shape, I think it was about a year.
Wow. And it's interesting. We're talking today about reaching for more, and that sounds like what you exactly did. Every day you reached for more to be healthier and feel, complete again, and that you had that energy. Now, I want you to stay with us, Sean, because when we come back, we're going to be going more into your story of how you really took life in a big way. Moving those cancers aside, you said, that's it, I'm going for it. So stay with us. We'll be coming right back after this break with Sean Swarner talking about reaching for more and how you can do the same in your life. So stay with us, everybody. We're going to be coming right back. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. Stay with us.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, but people in this town call me Maniac. They call me that because I'm the fastest runner in town. But just because everyone knows who I am doesn't mean I belong. I don't really belong anywhere. You see, I'm an orphan and I wander the streets just looking for a place that I can truly call home. My name is Maniac McGee and I'm all alone. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the food pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Nancy Solari, host of the Living Full Out Show. I am excited to let you know that we are now associated with Alexa. If you have Alexa in your house and you didn't know that, go ahead and find Living Full Out because you can hear us anytime you want, and we're there for you to keep you motivated. Go to your app store because we're located there as well. Just look for the Living Full Out radio show. It's important to us that we put out really inspiring programming, but we want to make sure that you have it at your fingertips when you need us most. We never know when those challenges are going to come, when we're going to feel lonely and need that motivation. So just know that when you need us, we're here for you. Check out Alexa, the app stores, or go to livingfullout.com. Here's to you living full out.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and today we're talking about reaching for more in life and just evaluating where are you right now, where would you like to be, and how do we get you there, because that's what we're dedicated to do. So we have our inspirational guest on today, Sean Swarner, who's telling us about his journey. He overcame cancer twice in his teenage years, and that was pretty amazing. But he went on to do even further amazing things that I can't even imagine. So I'd like to welcome Sean back to the show. Are you with us, Sean? Oh, maybe we'll get him in a second. So when our producer lets me know that I have Sean back on, we'll bring him on. But until then, the thing that we want to think about when we think about reaching for more is, what is that? Like, what is it that you want? Is it that you want to achieve something physically? Maybe it's losing weight. Maybe it's doing track and field, or going and joining a club and playing basketball or baseball or whatever that would be, something physical. Maybe it's a career goal or dream that you have, and maybe you enjoy what you do, but how can you take that up a notch? Maybe it's starting your own business. Whenever we think about reaching for more, go big, dream big, and if you achieve just a little less than that, that's okay too. It's just really important that we bring focus into our life as to what we want, so we know what we're striving for. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that Sean is back with us. Sean, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear. I like it. Yes, I can. So Sean, we were just talking the last segment about the 2 cancers that you overcame, which in its own right is really amazing. And I'm so grateful that you did. And for anybody going through cancer right now, it is scary. But at the same time, it's hearing Sean's story and everybody else's to know that you can get through it. And so thank you for sharing those intimate details with us. And the thing is you didn't just stop there. You didn't just go through the motions of life. You wanted to do something to really validate that cancer and what you went through and give others hope. What was your first thought? What did you want to go for?
Honestly, my first thought was, maybe I'll run from Los Angeles to New York and visit a number of hospitals and share my survivorship story with the patient. And then I did some more thinking about it and realized, that's a little too much running. That's too much effort. And I also wanted something here and a more grand scale. Thinking bigger and bigger. And I thought, well, if the human body can live for roughly 30 days without food, the human condition can sustain itself for about 3 days without water, and no human alive can live for more than 30 seconds without hope. I wanted to use the largest platform in the world to stream hope, and after doing some research, I realized no cancer survivor had climbed Mount Everest, and I wanted to use that as literally a 29,000-foot platform to people hope.
And you know what? I love that you had that thought. But had you been a climber? Did you have any training in this? I mean, where does one even begin starting to train to climb Mount Everest?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great question. Where does one begin? If the first thing you have to do if you come up with any idea, any notion, any goal, is you have to believe it's possible first. And then moving from there, you have to visualize it. You have to see in your complete belief, but believe it's going to happen. And then you put in the effort, then the work. Because if you don't think it's possible, then it's not going to be possible. It's just simply not going to happen. So I was actually living in Jacksonville, Florida at the time, and I wanted to obviously climb Everest. And I don't know too many news from the state of Florida. So I moved to Colorado, where I still am, and I started training. I literally did something every day 9 months before I went over to Nepal and climbed the highest mountain in the world.
And after you did climb Mount Everest, I mean, again, you could have said, that was amazing, and I'm done. I'm putting up my shoes. I've had it. But you did strive for more. You then wanted to climb all the highest peaks on every continent. And how long did that process take you?
Exactly. It's called the 7 Summits. And I actually did the 7 Summits in 5 years. So I did 2 of them in the order. I did Everest first. And I figured, well, the rest of them will have to be downhill after this one because it's the biggest one. Then I went and climbed Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. Then Elbrus, the highest mountain in Europe. Then Aconcagua, the highest mountain in South America. Then Vinson in Antarctica. Kosciuszko and then Denali. I think that's 7.
Wow. Amazing. Now, here's one piece of your story that we've left out this whole time. I wanted you guys to all understand all this climbing he went and did. But you've done this with 1 lung. Now, how did you lose your other lung?
I actually have both of them, but there's so much scar tissue from the radiation treatment. There's no oxygen transfer. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Finding Nemo, where Nemo has that little fin. It's kind of like that. I look at it as my lucky lung.
And when you were climbing these mountains, do you feel that? I mean, do you feel that it can get less air? Is it noticeable, or has your body become used to it?
I didn't start climbing mountains until after I lost the function of that lung. So my baseline, with all my training and everything else, the only thing that I know is half my lung capacity.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I mean, really. What I love about that is, for you, you have one functioning lung. For me, I'm legally blind. I wish I had one functioning eye, but I don't. For others, they might have one functioning something else. And it's good to know that, you still can achieve greatness, even with just one lung, one eye, one leg, whatever it may be. And then it's interesting because after climbing all those peaks, you, again, could have said, that was amazing, and you could have stopped, but you still didn't stop. You went for the Explorer's Grand Slam. But what is the Grand Slam?
Well, personally, I think it sounds like a Denny's breakfast platter, but I didn't name it. So
you're making me hungry, Sean.
Right. I'm going to get to the North Pole and have a side of hash browns and some bacon or something. But it's the highest mountain on every continent, which we know is called the Seven Summits. And it's also making it, I actually skied to the South and North Poles, and I did at the North Pole last year.
Wow. And when you finally completed the last of the journeys, I mean, you've kind of done it. How did that make you feel? I mean, this has been years and years of training, and you've conquered the last final thing you could.
That's a great point you bring up. When I climbed the mountain and actually made it to the South Pole, when you get to the top of a peak, you're there because there's nothing else higher around you. When I went to the South Pole, there was the South Pole Research Station, which was just incredible, and I knew I was there. At the North Pole, because it's essentially a glacier, it's the Arctic Ocean, frozen Arctic Ocean, just kind of floating around, and because of the current, you never know which direction you're going to be floating. So we actually set up camp one night and fell asleep, and we drifted 2 miles backwards from our goal, from the North Pole. So a lot of people understand that. So when I got to the North Pole and completed the Explorer's Grand Slam, to be honest with you, it was almost, I don't want to say emotionally devoid, but it was almost a letdown because there's no marker, and we just followed a GPS tracker, essentially, letting us know, hey, we made it to the North Pole. So it was almost a letdown. But coming home, it's taken a little bit of time to sink in, and it is emotional sometimes.
Yeah, and as you were going after all these adventures, there were other areas of your life that you didn't explore. You kind of put family aside and relationships aside, and you were kind of on your own self journey. And when you look back at that, do you regret putting that time aside with those people in your life?
I've never seen a point of looking at life and regretting things. It maybe a little sadness, a little disappointment, but there's nothing I can do about it. And it's also it's like getting cancer. There was nothing I can do about it except move forward and kind of play the hand that I was dealt and just move forward with what I have. So one of the things my parents taught me when I was younger was I never had to be the best. I just had to be my best. So I think by pushing myself a little bit more each day, I kept getting a little better and understanding that there's nothing I can do about the cancers. There's nothing I can do about my past except for truly live and be in the present and enjoy what moments I have left.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I get that completely. And for somebody listening to our audience today who may be dealing with a relationship heartbreak, but gosh, they really want to have a strong relationship, or they're jumping from job to job and they're just not content and they really want to reach for that job that fulfills their passion. Or maybe it's a health condition and they feel like, what's the point? I can't. I'm never going to be the same. What would you tell those people in terms of reaching for more?
Well, a lot of people who are in relationships and are afraid to call it off. Like maybe I'll just use this as an example: an abusive relationship, verbal, physical, whatever. So many people are afraid of what they're going to lose as opposed to what they could potentially gain, and they're so focused on what they're going to lose as opposed to how much better their life could be. So I think if they focus on what they want, and if they are positive, that's what they're going to get. It's like sliding in your car. You're driving, and all of a sudden you hit ice, and you're going to be drawn towards what you're looking at, what you're focused on. And it's the same thing in life. If you're focused on the negative and all you do is drive around and walk around the world and look and notice negative stuff, you're going to be a negative person. But as soon as you change your mind and decide, I think that's the biggest key right there. You have a choice. You can choose to see what you want in life, be it positive, be it negative. But the greatest thing in life is that we have the freedom of choice, and you have to decide that you want something positive, not something negative.
Words of wisdom from Sean. I could just listen to you all day. But I really want to thank you for being who you are in the world and sharing with us about the Explorer Grand Slam and all that. Because I can tell you, I won't do that. That's not my thing. I'm not a climber. I'm not a runner. But to know that it's physically possible is just an amazing feat. And so we're so proud of you for that. And thank you for joining our family today and sharing with us your words of inspiration. But we appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. And if people do want, a little insight on not just what I've done, but how they can do it too. If they don't mind, and if you don't mind me plugging it, just go to thenext7days.com with the number 7. Thenext7days.com. I put together a 7-day program to help people move forward in their lives.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. And for everybody listening, it's all about reaching for more. And that's what we're about today, living our lives full out. So we're going to be coming right back after this break, taking your calls. So whatever it is that you want in life, whatever you're striving for, let's talk about that and reach for more together. We'll be right back after this break.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
The following message is about Medicaid and CHIP, free or low-cost health coverage for kids and teens. Enrollment is open year-round.
Hey, voice lady, give me the mic.
Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
They're going to jump out of trees. You can't stop them. They'll go down the slide head first. They'll make parachutes out of sheets. They'll balance on things that are impossible to balance on, like the back of a couch or a windowsill or a scooter seat. They'll run with sharp objects. They'll run into walls. They'll climb things that won't hold their weight. They'll put their fingers in places where they could get smashed. They'll drive their tricycles down steep hills. They'll bounce balls off their faces. They'll step on each other. They'll jump on each other. They'll invent whole new ways to put themselves in jeopardy. But one of the most dangerous things kids will do happens while they're sitting perfectly still. Kids who ride in a car without a booster seat are much more likely to suffer serious or fatal injury during a crash than kids in boosters. But amazingly, 80% of all kids who need them aren't in them. After a toddler seat and until they're 4'9", booster kids, and don't let them down.
Go to boosterseat.gov to learn more about the importance of boosters. A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Have you ever lost a cat?
And have you ever wanted to get your cat back after you lost it? I'm Andrew Hoffman. I invented the Lost Cat Magnet. Just turn it on and lost cats stick to it. Just listen to one satisfied cat. That's proof. You should invent stuff too. But remember, don't do a lost cat magnet.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
We're your pets, and this song's dedicated to those people who don't have health insurance yet. Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care, people, for goodness sake.
Health insurance is now affordable and covers prescriptions, hospitalizations, and preventive care. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn more.
And take care, people.
Brought to you by Get Covered America and the Ad Council.
As you consider reaching for more in your life, really picture, what does it look like? What does it smell like? What are you wearing? Who are you with? Get really good at being crystallized with what it is that you're striving for, and envision that, work towards it, and know that it is possible. You can live full out in life. You can reach for more. It's just about stepping forward each and every day.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. Nancy is here as a guide to show you how to rise above obstacles and savor each moment. If you have a question, call in live at 800-333-0001. That's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show, and we have been talking about reaching for more today, and I hope that you have been motivated by our inspirational guests and all the callers that have called in, because, like I said, we're all in this together, and that's what this community is for. And it's really important to me that you move past today's show with that vigor in your stomach, your passion in your heart, and you really want to go for life in a big way. And if you're struggling with that, or you're not sure how to, then I really want you to call into the show or reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com, because you living your life full out means so much to our Living Full Out family. So we're going to go to the phone lines now and check in with one of our callers. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, this is Alicia.
Well, hi there. How can we help you today?
Okay, so I'm in this long-distance relationship with my boyfriend, right? And I love him a lot, but I'm also in college right now. Like, I'm just right now about to be a freshman, and I'm getting kind of scared that I'm not going to be able to, like, experience college to the fullest or something if you know, if I'm in this, like, serious relationship with him, because I just feel like it's just getting so serious, and I'm still so young, you know?
And what I want you to do is trust your gut. Because here's the thing. Okay. Life is meant to be lived, truly. And if at this point, I mean, how long have you dated him?
Like 2 years now. Actually, we're about to get to 2 years.
Okay, and you know, that is a significant amount of time, and he's been your high school love, and that's very precious in its own right. But there's a couple different sayings in the world, but one of them is, if you set something free and it comes back to you, it's yours. And the thing is I think you both have to trust your love to take some time apart and experience life. And are you going to go to the same school or different schools?
Different schools. That's why we're about to go into long distance.
Okay. So here's what I suggest. Give each other at least one semester. Tell him, listen, I want you to go and experience everything you can. I want you to go to parties. I want you to join clubs. I want you to enjoy class. And I don't want you to do things because you're worried about what I would think. And then at the same time, that's going to give you access to do your own adventures, your own self-exploration, right? Now, if he says, no, that's not what I want. I want you, and I don't want to date anybody else, and I don't want to be, experience those things. Well, then you kind of have to do what's called tough love a little bit. And you have to say to him, listen, I have to find myself. And if we're meant to be together, you have to be two solid halves to be a whole. And you're still figuring out who you are as as a person, as a woman, as a professional. So you might just say to him, if you love me, I need you to give me a semester. I need you to give me a year. I don't know how much time you need. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the point is, like, I understand completely what you mean. Like, ask him, for time at least to consider.
Exactly. And it's not that you don't love him. It's not that you're racing to go date somebody else. It's more about you finding yourself. And it's more about being able to have the freedom to meet people and not have to race home at 8 o'clock and jump on the phone with him nightly, because a lot of times when people date, they have that we'll talk every night at 8 kind of thing. And I think he will respect that. But here's the thing. If he doesn't, then he's not the right man. And if he does, then he'll give you that space and ask for an amount of time that makes sense, a semester, a year. But just know at the same time, when you say that, he very well may go meet somebody else. You have to be prepared for that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you might as well. And in life, if you go big, you get big. So I think you just have to trust yourself, trust that gut, and go explore life because this is your time. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
you. Big help.
Well, I'm so happy I could be here for you, and thank you for calling in.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. And for everybody who called in today, we appreciate you bringing those questions to the forefront. It's all about reaching for more. And I don't know about everybody listening, but I am going to go reach for more today. I'm going to take that to-do list and take it to the 10th power, which is pretty big for me because I'm already at the 10th power usually. But our entire Living Full Out family is just so happy that we were able to motivate you and inspire you. Rich and Aaron and Riley and Amanda and Camille, everybody who just wants to make sure that you are living your life full out in the biggest way possible. If you have questions, obviously reach out to us. And if you're on the go, you can listen to us on Alexa or you can go to your app stores. And just know that the Living Full Out show wants to make sure that you're reaching for more, but you're doing it in a way that is comfortable, but yet allowing you to take calculated risks. So go out there, go for it, live full out, reach for more, and we'll be back next week with more inspiration. Know that I believe in you, and if you need me, just give us a call. Here's to you living your life full out. We'll see you next week. Take care. Living full out, reaching for more. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Living Full Out Show with Nancy Solari. To learn more about this program, visit livingfullout.com for the latest episodes. Connect with the Living Full Out community by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you have an inspirational story you want to share, email us at connect@livingfullout.com. Here's to you, living full out.